David Anthony. Thanks for checking out MotoAmerica on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and comment.
Final race of the afternoon, MotoAmerica Twins Cup here at Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And the Twins are hitting it for the one and only time this week in racing trim. They've done their practice, their qualifying throughout the week. And this morning, your top qualifier was Dominic Doyle, the fastest of the bunch. This is a very competitive class. Let's send it down to Michael Hill.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm absolutely in heaven down here because, as most people know, I'm a massive fan of the Eurovision. I love all quirky, crazy things. And I tell you what, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. Come on, look at this. I don't know whether to interview the rider or to talk to the baby shark that's down here on the grid. What is going on? I don't know whether to break out into song. This is so cool.
He just asked my dad, hey, can you get someone to wear this shark costume and hold the umbrella for me? And he was like, you want to do it? Yeah.
You didn't even want paying, did you? You look like the kind of guy that dresses up like this every weekend.
Dude, it's so fun. Not getting paid at all.
Well, I've got to say, I've interviewed many people around the world, many champions, and I've never ever interviewed a shark on the grid before. So this is a world exclusive. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel great. I mean, I wasn't expecting this getting on TV, so...
Let's speak to the rider. How are you doing? Obviously hydrating there, just getting ready for the race. I got to say, this is so cool. This is what MotoAmerica is all about. Doesn't matter whether you're a factory team, privateer rider. It's all about getting out there and racing motorcycles. So great to have you with us. And thanks for bringing a bit of humor to the grid. I love it.
Thanks. We're not good, so we got to have fun.
You're a damn sight better than I would be, so good job, mate. Enjoy it.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, we're going to make our way forward on the grid. And I've got to just say as well, because down here on the grid, you do get to see a lot of things that you don't normally see in other championships. I've just seen Richard Varner, the CEO of MotoAmerica, and one thing that I noticed, he's actually spent the day today going onto the grid at every single race, like he does, but today for the first time, and maybe he's done it before, I've just seen him going along and shaking the hands of every single competitor from the front of the grid to the back of the grid. And just look back on me here. There are 13 rows of Twins Cup riders here on the MotoAmerica grid. The 39 riders have qualified. There were more than 43, 44 guys that were actually put onto the grid as well. It's the biggest class that we have. Hugs down here, Mark Maracle down there. Oh, sorry, Marco, just wiping you out with a camera there, buddy. Mark, how...
Out of my way, man.
I'm sorry. We've got to keep meeting like this. But what I'm just saying to the fans down here, just seen Richard Varner walking up and down, thanking everybody, all the competitors. But what a fantastic opening day of MotoAmerica here at Road America.
What an amazing time. And let me tell you about Richard and the ownership. These guys love the racers. I told Richard one day, I said, that is the most amazing thing, that he would come out here and spend that time high-fiving the guys, giving them hugs, giving them some love. It's a great thing. And I tell you what, I would not want to be any other place than where we are right now.
I echo that. Absolutely echo that.
And thanks for coming back to America.
Well, thanks for inviting me back. It's great to be back. Thank you. Okay, we don't have much time, and we're going to get off the grid now, but Twins Cup is lining up. It is going to be a belting race. Back to Robbie and Roger upstairs in the commentary box. Who's your money on, boys?
I don't know. I mean, all bets would probably be on Jody Berry. That would be a safe money because he's gone back to back to back. That's a second place at the second stop and a top 5 in the only other round. When your worst finish is a 4th place, you're doing something right. He's got over a full race advantage, and I think it's everybody else's job to knock him off because he is been very strong this year.
Yeah, he has. And, I mean, even this weekend he's been super strong in all the practices and qualifier. He didn't lead the second qualifying today, and that's the one that we haven't seen him not lead, and he's just been so consistent. It was really quick. You know, also Dominic Doyle. It's going to be a guy that's new that they haven't raced with before.
And hungry, too. You saw the 25 in the middle of that mix back there. But there were 2 teams at VIR a couple of weeks ago. It was the Yamahas and the Aprilias. The Veloce Aprilia pipped them at the end. But Hayden Schultz, another rider we haven't talked about a ton this weekend, qualifies 5th. He's in it for the championship, already a one-time race winner. He's the guy that could also upset the apple cart.
Yeah, also, he knows how to put himself in good spots. He won Daytona, and that's all about, you know, kind of like it is here, the draft. And I say, for me, the Yamaha gets off the corner a little bit better, I think, and then toward the end of the straightaway, I believe the Aprilia is a little better, so it kind of evens out over the lap. But they are so dead even. If you look at the grid, I mean, it's Yamaha, Aprilia, Yamaha, all the way throughout whole field.
Cycletech Speed Weaponry Yamaha. You've got the Veloce Aprilia. it's actually Hayden Schultz without his teammate James Rispoli this weekend, but Jody Berry does have his teammate in Caleb DeCarroll. DeCarroll's going to start in 7th. No, Caleb's going to start in 3rd. These are your championship standings as they are right now, and that number 1 is 7th in the championship. Kind of started off a little bit slow, but for everything that Caleb hasn't been doing this year, Jody Berry's looked very strong. But at 43 points, only 4-5 rounds into the series, that is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple issues as well, but you're right. We haven't kind of seen him be where he usually is, and I think this morning he found something.
Yes.
We've seen how fast he was this morning, and even yesterday, he got out in that first qualifier with his teammate, and I think it helped him.
Caleb DeCarroll, a winner here at this track on the Veloce Aprilia. It's his birthday today as well, 7th in points, but looking at the races through the year, and they progressed 3 points, 8 points, 10 points, 11 points, 13 points. He's due for a podium here. That would be 16th. Wouldn't be surprised if we see it today. But one rider we are missing is 5th in championship points, Jackson Blackman, and Michael has more.
Yeah, Jackson Blackman unfortunately will not be on the grid for this race. We saw him take a tumble on the opening day yesterday, and it's such a shame for Jackson. He's been one of the front runners. In fact, he was the first rider to get a double win on the Yamaha last year, so he is going to be missed. But unfortunately, he went down, as you can see, and unfortunately a broken ankle and a couple of toes as well. He's not actually still at the circuit. He's actually gone and packed up and he's out of here. So I've not been able to speak to either him or his father to understand whether he will miss the ridge, whether he'll miss any more races than that. But with a broken ankle and a couple of broken toes, guys, it's probably likely that we won't see him for a couple of races, which is a big shame for him and also for us, because he's a great rider.
And it's a lot of pain that he was in yesterday. And again, thank you, Michael, for the update. Jackson, we wish you well. Been there before, done that. And you know, with surgery and the way that things are, they can get him back probably, but does he want to come back, and how much do you want to deal with pain?
Yeah, I mean, possible. We got, you know, almost 3 weeks off, so it can give you a lot of time, and also being a kid.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to, you know, being in good shape and being young, he's going to heal up pretty quick, but it just depends how bad the break is.
Well, there's no kid right there in that 15 starting spot. Chris Parrish with that smile to face, former champion this Twins Cup class. Good to have Chris back on the Ghetto Customs entry. Jeff Perk also runs the Medallia Superbikes. We've seen him in many classes before, and now testing out the waters in the Twins Cup. So, again, if you have the opportunity to do it, you have the bikes to do it, put it out there. Get as many rides as you can. We saw, Jason Farrell in 3 different classes this weekend. Find your favorite rider, as Michael mentioned, a full grid. We had more riders that we'd actually put on the grid, and sometimes, even though in 4 miles, you spread them out, our leaders will probably catch up to that back of the pack, no question.
Yeah, that's a good chance. Especially, I mean, even being this long track, there's still a chance they can catch up to the leaders by the time this race is over, and it could come down to some lappers. Somebody might try to make a break the last lap and put some lappers in between them and whoever's behind them.
We talk about the strong start of the season for Jody Berry, but Dominic Doyle is starting to find his groove, and you had talked to him and mentioned, or we'd heard that how they found some horsepower in that Yamaha. I don't know what they found, but they've done something, and they've got it up to snuff, and it looks to be equally on par to the Yamaha of, say, Hayden Schultz, which seems to have a little bit more than some of the others. We know Vance and Hines does the work on it, but could this be Dominic Doyle's first race win in the Twins Cup? I think today could be the day, but it's hard beating Jody Berry. You also have Caleb DeCarroll. This is one of his better tracks as well. He's done well on the Yamaha and the Aprilia.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys, too. I mean, you look at Anthony Mazziato, T. Cobbs, Blake Davis. There's a lot of race winners in this race.
Ben Galati, another one to look for. He was in the hunt all last year. Red light goes out. Big jump by Hayden Schultz. He's going to get jumped by somebody on the inside. I think Blake Davis is going to get him. You got to get a good start, and Hayden Schultz did not get that start.
He wheeled off the line, and they're going to peel his stickers off.
Yeah. They're going to peel his sticker. He goes from near that front row opportunity to about a 4th row spot.
But luckily for him, if he gets a good drive out of this turn 3, he can get a couple guys going into turn 5. And we've seen a lot of guys make some mistakes getting into turn 5, trying to lead, outbraking each other. So we might see some mistakes from the guys in front of him.
See these guys trying to get in a draft. On that far left, you see Jody Berry, the 25, the pole sitter. Is that Ben Glotty, the 72, that's trying to get by on the Robum Engineering Aprilia?
5 wide.
Anthony Mazziato on the outside. He does the lean in, and the Maz is out there. Gus Rodeo, his teammate, did well in the juniors. Now Mazziato trying to win here in the Twins.
Mazziato definitely has the talent to win these races. Last year he was really, just doing a couple events here and there, and when he did that, he showed how fast he was. Last race he started dead last and made it into the top 5.
Rodeo Racing Warhorse HSBK Aprilia of Anthony Mazziato out in front as he heads toward the carousel and through Speedville. You're exactly right. He was developing the Veloci Aprilia for another rider last year. He did so well they decided to keep him on that bike, and now he's on a different team with the Warhorse as well as Rodeo Racing Team. He's looking for that first win of 2022.
He is, and just at least be with the leaders. Had that Daytona, the save of the year already, so he knows how to draft. He's got some experience, and this is going to be a huge pack.
Save of a lifetime. You see the 79 of Teague Hobbs. Whenever they tap on that tail section, saying, get on my rear fender, let's catch up to this group in front of us. If they keep going too wide, then they'll lose that draft. And Caleb DeCarroll, man, he was hard under the brakes in that area and moved his way into second. The #1 rider on his birthday looking for his first win of the season.
And Hayden Schultz has recovered pretty well from that bad start. He's got himself up around 5th or 6th.
I'm glad to start calling him Papa Wheelie, because, I mean, he launched that Yamaha, and we've seen him do it before. It's a fine line, Roger, of having too much grab there or not wanting to burn the clutch up on the start as well. But he's definitely not in the burn-up clutch category.
No.
A quadrangle of Aprilias up front, and there's the Yamaha on the inside. Make that the outside heading into the turn. The 25 of Dominic Doyle showing the racecraft there. Jody Berry up there. DeCarroll, Mazziato, Glotty.
Corey Ventura's had an awesome first lap.
Absolutely, and we have not talked about Corey Ventura. The 28 is definitely one to look for. Where did he start? 10th place, already up inside around that top 5 of the MP13 racing entry. Melissa Parrish doing the work on that bike. You have Josh Hayes getting in the ear of Corey Ventura, and now we see Dominic Doyle pull out, trying to make a pass to the outside, and does so.
Yeah, these guys don't want to let Jody Berry lead through 5 all the way to 11. There's a good chance he could make a break. And that's going to be his goal. If Jody Berry comes out at turn 5 in the lead, he knows he has the pace to try to break that draft.
And oftentimes we talk about breakaways. We have a breakaway here. 1, 2, 3, boy, about 8. It's a 9-rider breakaway.
There's 10 guys, I think. Blake Davis, look right there at the end. He's in 10th place.
So it is a breakaway. This 10 separated themselves from the other 20. But this is what it's like. Oftentimes you see it in the STG juniors as well. And these first 2 are maybe pulling away just a little bit.
Yeah, Dominic has showed a lot of pace this week. Now, if these 2 don't go back and forth, that's what they need to do, and try to leave the rest of the group and then settle out themselves toward the end.
Corey Ventura is looking very, very racy on the 28. Ventura was 7th across the stripe. He's worked his way into 3rd now. And we saw last year at Ventura when he jumped into that Twins class, and I saw him on the lineup this year. I thought, okay, this could be a guy who could challenge for the championship, and he just has had it so far this year.
No, so far it's been a struggle, a couple crashes. He had an injury, too, earlier in the year with the broken collarbone. I know that really set him back.
His best finish was 9th. That was at the last stop, race 2 at VIR. That's good enough for 7th place, 9 points. So he's currently in 3rd. 3rd pace, 16. A little bit of breakaway. There's Corey Ventura right there. The blue colors. MP13. Melissa Paris and her race number. See, everybody getting in line. They're trying to work to catch back up to that group. They cannot let that white bike get away, especially.
Yeah, if they start going back and forth like they have been doing, it's going to let these guys get away. Caleb DeCarroll also on the front row has not had a good first couple laps, sliding back to about 8th.
Yeah, he was up there just, a couple of laps ago. He was making a pass for the lead, and then now he drops back to that spot. Let's see the 28 here as he makes a pass on Ben Glotty on the inside.
Yeah, just set him up into the chicane. Got a good run out of the carousel and made a good pass. He's seen those guys trying to get away. Look at Hayden Schultz. He's being aggressive now. He sees the two guys in the front trying to get away. And, Jody Berry and Dominic are working really well together. They're drafting each other, but they're not slowing each other up in the corners.
Absolutely. Right there you see it's almost like bicycle road racing. One guy will lead, the other one will pull out in front. Now here they are slowing each other up. Dominic went to the inside. Barry didn't have anywhere to go, and both of them were kind of stuck. Dominic was a little bit too much inside. Barry couldn't turn to where he wanted to, and look at how much closer third place is going to be this time.
A lot closer. And that last lap, Jody Berry actually did a 26.8, which is a race record. So these guys are on it early on in this race.
Ben Glotty now up into third place. We saw Ventura there earlier. So Ben Glotty on the 72 Robum Engineering. The Robum Engineering bike's the one that won the championship last year with a different rider on it in Caleb DeCarroll. DeCarroll moved over to the Veloce team. DeCarroll now on his birthday back in 7th place right now. They've lost a little bit of a toe from these two riders in front. And typically, you'd be more concerned about Jody Berry getting away, but the way that Dominic Doyle, you kind of need to be thinking about him as well. And if they work together, they're in trouble.
Yeah, either one of those guys. I mean, Dominic Doyle put a great third split on. You can see he even pulled out for Jody Berry a little bit, but this draft is going to bring him back in, and you can see that gap. It looks like they have broke that draft.
We saw the pass early on with Corey Ventura. Let's take a look again. He's in a sandwich on the right side of your screen. This was earlier. Same thing coming out of that carousel going to the inside.
Just on the inside, I just had to spot.
Barry kind of sitting up getting a look right there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think Barry's a smart, got really good racecraft. I think he knows if they start going back and forth, they're going to slow each other up, and he wants to keep breaking away from that pack.
Separation. Oftentimes, if you're a rider out there alone like Dominic Doyle was, they hug that inside portion near the rail of pit lane, but Jody Berry goes to the far left side, which is outside, and he kind of worked his way around on the Aprilia using that top speed. Dominic Doyle was faster that lap. Jody Berry takes the lead, though. Either way, they're chasing Jody now. Dominic doesn't want to be in second. Every time he's dropped back, he made the pass as fast as he could.
And Caleb DeCarroll now is kind of making his way up toward the pack as well. Last lap 27.0, a little bit quicker than the leaders.
That's the white bike, fourth in your picture there. It looks like Mazziato may be able to get around him. Anthony Mazziato on the 516. Ventura, the 28. And they're chasing Dominic Doyle, Jody Berry. Hayden Schultz, again, really not able to make up ground. He's holding on near the front of that second pack, but that second pack, they were about almost 2 seconds behind our leaders that last time around, and that's about what they have now.
Yeah, that first and second split so far, it's kind of been even.
What do you think about Dominic Doyle now in the Twins Cup when we saw him in Supersport and making that change, but riding for Bartcon either time? He has a great relationship with that team, but trying to get wins here in the Twins Cup.
Yeah, and he had a big injury, or broke his hand early last year, and I think that really set him back. And he's kind of skipped a class, and now he wants to go to Twins and learn the bigger bike. And for them, I think in the team, it's a good move to put him in the Twins, and then continue to learn and then move back to Supersport in a year or two.
Two different manufacturers represented in the front here. Dominic Doyle on the Yamaha. It's the Aprilia of Jody Berry just behind him. The Aprilia was brand new last year as well as the Yamaha. But the Yamaha, they had a base to go from. The 72 is parked. That is Ben Glotty. Something happened with him, pulled into pit lane. And there was one of your top 5, top 6 guys just a moment ago. Not sure what happened to Ben, but they have parked that bike. His teammate's still out there, and Teague Hobbs currently 7th. But the development of both of these bikes, they made the Aprilia faster, but they're starting to dial in that Yamaha. The motor is pretty much the same as previous iterations, but the suspension and the handling of that Yamaha is supposed to be better than it was once before.
And you can see how they just continue to get it better each race, and especially last year being so early. A lot of them didn't have parts, so all these guys are so much quicker this year. They got the whole off season for development, and you know, these two guys at the front keep pulling away a little bit each lap, and now they broke it out to 2.2 seconds, so it looks like it's just going to be between those two.
And back and forth with Berry and Doyle. Doyle looking to maybe slip back underneath, and you saw Jody try to do all his stopping in a straight line.
You could just see how that whole pack there was all trying to outbreak each other into turn 5 and just really kind of killing their momentum on exit.
Another rider we haven't talked about that's in that second group is Cody Wyman, new to the Twins. He was 7th that last time around. There he is, the white bike, the 34, just in front of Caleb DeCarroll, riding 2 classes in the juniors, getting used to that draft and knowing what this track is about, the grip levels. The grip levels are perfect right now, you would think, right? I mean, fairly cool temperature, but yes, the track, you know, is rubbered in well.
Yeah, the track is definitely rubbered in by now. We haven't had no rain. And even Blake Davis, we talked about him before the race, you know, can he get back in there? And it looks like it. And the second group, Anthony Mazziato, that last lap in that second, or on this lap in that second sector, was as the fastest one of anybody.
But then he lost a little ground to Corey Ventura. Again, they seem to be fighting with each other, going back to back to back. I think everyone wants to be in third and close up that distance, but then every time somebody moves to third, that guy in fourth wants to get back to third. Right there, perfect example. It's a good run by both of these riders out in front. They're oblivious of what's going on behind. They might get a pit board as they come up this front straightaway to their right-hand side. They'll both guard the rail to that right side this time as they come up. They'll take a look over, and their pit board will say what their advantage is. Maybe not to that particular rider that's right on the tail, you know there, but and how many laps are left? What? Right there, L3, there's 3 laps to go. But Jody Berry is, you know, talking with his team. He can ride any setup, you know, whether it be sift, soft, whatever. This bike really seems to jive with him. But you give him something, he'll make it work. His teammate, the number 1 back there in the back in the white, needs a certain feel with his bike. And I think they have been progressing, but Caleb DeCarroll doesn't quite have that same feel of where he wants to be like Jody Berry. But Jody is making it work, and he's really making it work here this year in 2022.
Yeah, not only this year, but in this race also. You can tell he's got his head down now. He's starting to open that gap a little bit to Dominic Doyle.
Teague Hobbs pressing really hard, backing it in, getting a little squirrely, and Corey Ventura taking advantage right there. Mazziato's going to get a better drive as well as they rise over that crest. You know what? They may be closing in just a little bit. With 3 laps to go, I think they might have closed just a little bit on that lead.
They were a couple tenths quicker in that first split.
And
the thing is, they're just kind of, you know, try to stay in this train, and besides on the straightaways, draft there, but, you know, not go into these corners 4 wide.
You're right on Blake Davis, though. He looks a little bit better here, a little more racy this week on the 22. Kind of middle of that pack. DeCarroll, I think his chances for a win are out the window now. And this is the only time we'll see the Twins Cup here this weekend, as well as the Yuasa Stock 1000s. So if you're DeCarroll back there on the number 1, you're hoping for third. You're pushing, you're doing your very best to be the front of this pack as they go across the stripe.
And it's just going to be about position yourself. He's got 7 guys he's battling with for the last podium spot, and they're wanting it just as bad as he does.
If you're Anthony Mazziato, you're still saying, I can catch him. I can catch him. Come on. I've got 2 laps left. You can close in, maybe have a chance to win. But every time you think about that, somebody pulls up next to you in the draft.
Yeah, and see, it kind of kills that run out of the corner there. And definitely the 2 guys in the front are really working well together.
This is almost like, you know, Formula One. I know they get that little extra pop and they can drop the flaps. And they get, oh, that is a bad clip by Teague Hobbs. And he was just caught out on the inside and clipped the back of the rider in front of him. I believe it was that Mazziato that he clipped, and he is down. And this that's at a fast portion of the track. And I think
this is a long track, so it's going to give him a lot of time to get up and get things out of the way. You know, 2 minutes, almost 2.5 minutes.
But there's still also 30 other riders that are behind, not just the lead pack. So
yeah.
He is up, and he's trying to get out of there. And oftentimes, you know, you land on that shoulder first thing. When you clip somebody, the first thing to go is that shoulder. And you can see he's holding that left side. down to the side. That is unfortunate for Teague Hobbs. His teammate Ben Glotty is out of this race. Now we've got a race for the victory between two riders. I don't think third's going to be able to close in now at all. Some of them just saw what happened when you get a little bit too close and too aggressive. Blake Davis trying to be the first rider in that second pack to cross the stripe. Caleb DeCarroll's there as well. We said, you know, the wind's out the window. He's trying to win the race for third. Anthony Mazziato drops back. He was the rider that I believe that
got clipped.
Yeah, that got tagged from the behind. That didn't come out right, but either way, he's the one that clipped the rear tire. It's all right, you can giggle. He didn't see what was coming. We had a little Rambo action there. But right here, the Aprilia of Jody Berry. Now let's look at this one more time. Watch the rider second and third of this group.
Yeah, see how the bike moves around a little bit, and then he just can't get it stopped. I think he thought about making that pass. The bike was moving a little bit and he couldn't get it slowed down in time.
And also, you had Anthony Mazziato that might have been a little wider than he wanted to be, trying to cut back down underneath, and Hobbs was there. So they both met at that spot, and unfortunately, Hobbs got the bad end of that deal. We've seen some drafting for the victory here with the next time when they come around, they're going to take that white flag. Will we see a draft to win, or will we see the guy out in front? Will he be able to hold on to that spot?
These two are so even, it's really hard to tell. You know, the draft can definitely come into play. Dominic looks like he's comfortable there. We're going to see, you know, coming up the start-finish this time, maybe he gets a little preview. I think he would need to be closer than that. He would have to be closer than that on the last lap to make a draft for the line.
I think Jody Berry was trying to push his hardest. He's going to take the white flag now. Jody pushes his hardest on this final lap to separate himself. If Dominic Doyle were to get by, I don't think that would have been the worst thing for Jody Berry, because you know, okay, I know I've got this lap to get it done. When he knew he had that gap, you're going to see him push. Oh, pushing hard. Caleb out of position, but you see Blake Davis now trying to get his second podium of the season. After that win in the first race, the 22 doing good. Mazziato up there as well, looking for his second podium after a third in the first race. Doyle's got to close it in really quick. I mean, he needs to be there at the end. I think the only chance he has is a possible draft on that front straightaway.
And I think Jody's already made his mind up. He's just going to try to break away, especially when you get to this point in the lead. Your goal is to make the break.
Yeah, and when he turned around and saw that gap, that's exactly what he's trying to do. But on that same note, Doyle, you talk about that rabbit that's in front of you. He sees everything that Jody Berry's doing. He can do something a little bit different. He can charge a little bit harder. And all of a sudden, here comes Anthony Mazziato. How do we have this kind of a run?
Lap, Jody Berry did a 2:28.4, which is
horrible.
Yeah, his best is a 26.8.
Mazziato is charging hard. Now, if Doyle can close in, could we see a double draft by Mazziato as well?
When they went across the start-finish line, Caleb DeCarroll was in third, 1.8 seconds behind Jody Berry. They've already closed up this much.
Mazziato was about 1 3/4 seconds arrears, and Mazziato has a chance to win this race back in third. Corey Ventura is going to go underneath Blake Davis. Watch the rider in third. I think he's got something for him. If Doyle can close up, Jody Berry got an excellent run out of that
really
sector.
Good run. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened coming to the white flag. Jody and Dominic Doyle was both in the 2:28 range.
There's Mazziato. He's going to go underneath the Canada corner. He might not be in the best position, though. He's going to make a pass. He's going to keep Doyle to his outside. Can he close up? Does he have enough time to do it here, Roger?
He's got to have a really good last sector here. You can see he's pushing. Get into the last corner now. He's not going to be able to make the pass in the last corner, but at least try to set up wide and try to get a run. And they're both Aprilias, so they're going to be even.
He's trying to sit back, get this drive that you were talking about. He's going to get right in that tail race. It's like, oh, he was going for extra gas. He didn't have it there. I think he might have missed a shift. He grabbed the throttle twice there, Roger. Jody Berry comes across back to back to back to back wins for the Veloce Aprilia. And I cannot tell if Anthony Mazziato is happy or if he's disappointed with second place, because he just had the fastest lap ever in Twins Cup here. A 2:26.68 on that final lap. And he is happy. Jody and Maz, they can do some wheelies too.
I'm curious to know what happened those last couple laps. getting into the 28s there.
And maybe he overcooked the first turn or something like that, because it was after they crossed the stripe. Because we saw somehow Anthony Mazziato made over a second and a half differential that last lap.
Yeah, see lap 7, lap 8. He won. That's all that matters.
Team Fun Bunch get to party again, and it's only one race too, so they can really party tonight. And Veloce, the team themselves, very clean, very proper, very good looking, not getting much help, not getting any help from Aprilia. I did not know that. Not getting any help from Olins, and I thought he did. I miscommunicated that. But they're developing that suspension for that bike, and they're doing the hard work, and they're showing you can get it done.
Yeah, and obviously they got some good people in that team. Jody's been pretty much dominant all year, and that team has really stepped up this year. Their rig and everything, it's really professional looking, and it's showing. And they came back and kind of did a couple races, and then once they really committed to the Twins Cup Championship, they've put themselves in a good spot.
Dominic Doyle started the year with a 6th place finish. He's going to finish his best in Twins Cup in 3rd today. Good run by him. Blake Davis, also a good run. Watch what happens with Mazziato coming in here. I thought he had a pretty good run, got a little bit of a wiggle, but watch him grab the throttle.
You remember this morning he talked about his quick shifter wasn't working, so I wonder if maybe that could have been an issue.
It had to have been it. He shook his head. He knew it, and I couldn't tell if he was pissed because I thought he had a chance to win it. I think he wanted one more lap.
He was happy.
But yeah, he was punching it, because when he pulls up to Jody, they were fist bumping like, I got second. And when you've had a tough year so far after coming off of winning the year before, seconds feel really good.
And not only just second, but almost get the win.
I think you're right, though, about that shifting issue, because you do not grab the throttle that many times down that. He was trying to find something that wasn't there.
Yeah, well, for us, we have the, people don't watch this very often, is we have quick shifters, so you don't have to shut off the shift. They're just something that gives the bike a little bit of a kill, and so you would never shut off. So I think maybe he had a problem with his quick shifting.
Right. So every time he would do that, he's kind of letting off, because under power, if that shifter doesn't work, it doesn't want to grab.
If you don't have the quick shift, you do have to shut off a little bit.
Yeah, right.
We're going to have a wheelie contest.
Jody's pretty good. My money would probably be on Mazziato. Jody's pretty good at it, though.
Anthony's.
Strong run by Dominic Doyle, Blake Davis, Corey Ventura, Cody Wyman, 6th place for him. That's
Jody Berry is going to have a nice points lead, almost
2 races.
3 races after this.
Yeah, think about it. Hayden Schultz. We lost touch with Hayden Schultz. He
8th.
dropped back to 8th. Caleb DeCarroll. Again, those are guys that we were looking at to possibly win the championship this year, and they're going to lose ground. Again, Jody Berry had a 45-point advantage over Hayden Schultz. Teague Hobbs is going to drop after that DNF. Mazziato, he's going to have 2+ races.
Yep.
He could take off at Barber if he has that same advantage leaving New Jersey. The Weimaraner is beat, though. Look like great doggy. It's a dream season for Jody Berry. Worst finish is 5th place, the first race of the year. Take a look at the start. Bad start for Hayden Schultz. Also popping wheelie for Cody Wyman as well. Jody Berry wanted to be at the front. Several riders wanted to be at the front.
You can see first lap into turn 5, everybody trying to get the lead. Anthony Mazziato was great that first lap.
Tuck in, get behind me. Nobody really wanted to adhere to that. These two just kind of pulled away. It looked like a race for first was only going to be a 2-rider race, but keep watching that red bike in back. Mazziato gets clipped a little bit by Teague Hobbs, and unfortunately takes him out of the race. Mazziato regroups. If that would have stopped him, he might have been even closer, but that checked him up a little bit.
Definitely checked him up a little bit, but look at him on this last lap. Knows he's going to have a chance at the line.
Comes across about 4/10 arrears of Jody Berry. And Jody Berry with his fourth race win in a row. We've seen it in years past, some dominance from riders in the Twins Cup. Jason Madama with 3 wins back at 18. We saw 5 out of Alex Dumas. Caleb DeCarroll with 3, and Rocco Landers had 9 back 2 years ago. Jody Berry 4/10 of a second ahead of Anthony Mazziato. Dominic Doyle just behind as well. Let's go down to Michael with Jody Berry.
Yeah, I'm down here with Jody Berry. In fact, all of the top three, and the crowd down here going absolutely crazy. Jody Berry back to back to back to back to back. I mean, another win. Incredible.
Yeah, feels really good. Big shout out to the Veloci crew, Cycle Tune, OP Motorsports, Arai, Bison, Liquid Molly, everybody who helped. So, yeah.
What were you thinking as that race went on? Dominic kept you honest in the early stages. You weren't a scene behind, but Mazziato putting in a stunning final lap. I mean, he came from nowhere.
Yeah, Maz, I mean, he said he got second. I was so ecstatic for him. The tire was starting to go away in the rear a little bit, so I was a little nervous about how the last couple laps were going to go, but I guess we played it right. So.
Yeah, absolutely did play it right. Robbie, Roger, great job. Back to you.
Excellent job. Again, Caleb McCarroll took the championship last year with 5 race wins. Jody Berry already has 4 race wins, and we're still not even to the halfway point.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more if he keeps riding the way he has.
Mazziato looked like he might have missed that shift coming down that straightaway. Thought he had a shot at the title, but he looked very happy in second, Michael.
Yeah, I can't put into words what we're seeing down here. It's proper celebrations for Anthony Mazziato. Like I just said there, talking to the race winner, Anthony, you came from nowhere. That was one hell of a final lap.
Yeah, well, I started the race and all my electronics turned off, so I had no quick shifter, no auto blip, no anything. And when I tried to click it in second gear, I was in neutral. Like, it didn't go. So I got a really not the best launch off the line and kind of got stuck behind them guys for a little bit. But I really dug deep for that one, not having any of that stuff and just working hard. And I thought I had a good run on Jody coming out of the last corner. And when I went to click that shift, I didn't quite get it good enough without that quick shifter. So I just... simple mistake by me, but I'm just so thankful to be up here. I can't thank Rodeo Racing, Warhorse HSBK, AJ Mini GP, Dying Easy AGV, Mark Contractor, Solar Construction, just everyone that puts together this program. Like, I just can't, I don't have the words.
Yeah, no, I can see quite emotional down here, Roger, and you've ridden many, many bikes, but to do that with no quick shift and no electronics, that's pretty impressive. Back to you guys.
Really impressive and really difficult, especially these long straightaways. Every time he had to shut off the shift, he was losing a little bit of momentum.
If he gets that sorted, he's going to be one to beat. And Dominic Doyle finally shows what he can do in the Twins Cup as podium here now in the Twins Cup. Great ride, Dominic.
Yeah, really great ride by Dominic Doyle. It's been a difficult start to the season. You've banished all of those demons from Daytona and the early races, back on the box, and I'm sure that's where you know you belong, and a great ride today.
Yeah, stoked to be back on the box. I can't thank my whole team enough for getting me up here. Bart Karn Racing, Dr. D, Triple Strong Racing. Yeah, the bike started getting really loud with like a couple laps to go, and I checked after the race and I got packing all over my wheels. So losing a little mile an hour, and I maybe could have done something at the end of the race, but I mean, it is what it is. We move on to the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely be seeing Dominic Doyle feature more in this series. Robbie, Roger, back to you, but all smiles down here in Park Fair, mate.
What he's talking about is blew the packing out of that muffler. So yeah, if that clogged up that area, the bike wasn't able to expel those gases. And a great race here in the Twins.
Yeah, really great race. I mean, especially that last lap.
The updated standings as it stands right now, plus 2 full races for Jody Berry. Anthony Mazziato moves up to second place. So Maz was 4th, now second with the poor finish by Hayden Schultz. You had the DNF by Teague Hobbs. So Mazziato the next in line.
Yeah, Anthony Mazziato. These guys are going to need to start winning some races if they want to, get that points gap. 2 race lead already is a lot.
At this rate, I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult. You have to have some unfortunate circumstances for Jody Berry, but everything seems to be going his way. Again, his 4th race win of the season in only 6 attempts. Tomorrow's schedule, we're going to kick things off in the morning with the Medallia Superbike warm-up on MotoAmerica Live Plus for you fans wanting to join us. Again, the clouds are supposed to roll in. It is expected to be a little wetter tomorrow, but it's going to be a fact. It's something that every racer will have to deal with. If it does, in fact, rain, it makes for fun racing on this track.
Yeah, it can equalize things a lot, and, some new names up here at the front, but one thing about the rain, it's the same for everybody.
The dogs are barking, the sharks are, I don't know what in the heck they're doing, but again, get on my tail, let's go somewhere. MotoAmerica and Road America was a good one today. Some awesome rides by many of our riders. we'll have a full set for you tomorrow. The big bikes will re-rack, restack, and do it one more time. On behalf of Michael Hill and Roger Hayden and Robbie Floyd, we'll see you mañana. We had some great races today.